Good afternoon, students. This is Dr. Morgan Phenix coming to you from Stanley, Virginia. It's a beautiful, sunny Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Very cold and windy outside in Stanley, Virginia. Quite cold. Alrighty, here we go. We're into week 4. I want to commend you on your journal article critiques and your discussion board. I think you've got that down pretty well. Please do read my comments on your journal article critiques. It will ensure that you will get between 48 and 50 points on each one of them from now through to the end of the term. Alrighty, and likewise, keep in mind for if you stumble in any one of these weekly exercises on journal article critiques, you can use week 8 as the week 8 option, and that is a matter of revising an earlier journal article critique instead of producing a fresh one for week 8. All right, but you then, if you use that option, remember again, in week 8 you will indicate at the top that it is a revision of week 3 or week 4 or week 5 journal article critique, and I received 46 points on that, or I received 38 points, or I received 50 points on it. You're welcome to resubmit any one of your journal article critiques. It'll save you some time in week 8. Okay, there's a quick rundown again of the week 8 option. Hope you got that. Okay, and also with the discussion board, I'd like to remind you, I hope there's no confusion on the use of reference and citation. It's required for your initial post. You lose a point or 2 or 3 if you don't have some form of reference and citation to give authority to your good voice in your initial post, your initial thread. It is not required in the replies at all. Okay, and if you are referring to Monroe or to Ruby Payne or to the Guggenheim DVD, you only need to put in parenthetical in-text citation there. You do not have to have the full citation because we have that in our syllabus. It's common and familiar resource. It's the best one to use because that way everyone knows what you're talking about. Okay, here you go. For Serge Romanich, this is the case study. In week 4, you will all be sharing the same case study, doing the same one. And in week 7, another 100-point case study, you will be choosing from among 3. So here's how you do it. You look in the reading study materials, and there is a document. It is called, Is This Child Mislabeled? Case-based, okay? And this is on Serge Romanich. It is a 2-page document only. You look at those 2 pages there, and that contains all the information that you are to use in the case study. There's nothing other than these 2 pages in terms of your base material and facts and details. Then on the 3rd page, there are a few questions that will probably assist you in writing your summary, which is the first part of this assignment. You'll do a quick summary of these 2 pages, nothing more than these. You're not writing an essay on ELL students, okay, or not writing an essay on special education, okay, or least restrictive environment, or whatever it might happen to be, or in leadership. You are responding to this, okay, and begin your summary statement, your summary, 1 page, 1.5 page summary with a thesis statement. And it begins with these words, something like, I believe that Serge's skills were or were not assessed adequately. I believe that he was correctly or not correctly identified as learning disabled. Those are the questions there. And make that your thesis statement for the beginning of this assignment. And so very, very briefly, here it is. This assignment is to be completed in 3 parts. And the first part is the 1 page or to 1.5 page summary of this, okay, of the first 2 pages here. 1 page summary of the actual case, no research, right? None whatsoever, no quotes, don't need it at all. Tell me what you know about Serge Romanich from this document. It's really, really simple, okay? Then you will go on to the SWOT, and that's for 20 points. The SWOT, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, or threats, an outline format, use 50 points. It's half of this assignment. You could do it in a quadrant format. I don't like that because it's harder for me to do tracking changes. So I would like to ask for brevity and clarity and economy of effort that you use a simple outline with very brief phrases here. You don't have to write full sentence even. Strengths of the program. It's not a strength of Serge Romanich necessarily. You could put that in there, or a weakness. And I'll give you a couple of examples here. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, or threats. This will be a single page, maybe go over onto the 2nd page. And then finally, you will do your case recommendations as if you were a site administrator, okay? And those should, and that'll also be an outline format. Do not write an essay for your SWOT. Do not write an essay for your case recommendations. I guarantee you will lose points because you will spend a lot of space and time on cobbling it all together. Just make some brief. Here's what I would do. You could, in 3 words or 5 words or 10 words for each one of these, and use an action verb in there somehow. I would set up something, I would allow for something, I would encourage, I would establish, I would organize, whatever it is. Use your own words, don't use mine, okay? Text weekends. For case studies, text weekends. And where do you get your best recommendations? Where do you get them from? From your SWOT, okay? And I'll tell you more about that right now. Why is that a good source for recommendations? If we have strengths in our program, I would enhance them in some form or another. I would do more of it. If I have weaknesses, I would fix them, okay? I would shore some things up where we have not done properly. If there are some opportunities, and what opportunities are, they are things that we should have thought of, but that we didn't do, that we didn't access. And so, of course, this is a great place to get recommendations. I know, why don't we do such and such, which we didn't do? And you'll see in this case that there are some things that weren't done, okay? And then threats. These are things that you must do if you were to avoid liability and avoid some really serious claims upon your professionalism, and perhaps as on your job, as something to consider. I think that, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and then we'll be done for today. Okay. For example, let's just say about Serge Ramanich. He doesn't speak any English. That is not a weakness. Okay. You do not put in here that, oh, Serge Ramanich doesn't speak English. That is not a weakness. It's a fact of the matter. He is there. He's in your school, and it actually is an opportunity. And if you didn't deal with it, and you'll see that this school has lots of programs, okay? So why didn't things maybe work out? People start wondering, did we place this kid properly, okay? And maybe they did, maybe they didn't, okay? And if threats, if you can identify a threat or 2 or 3, and there are some here, if you don't do something about them, you're going to be in trouble for not having seen that. And somebody's going to come to you and say, why didn't you do such and such? So those should be your, these are your best sources. The 3 here are your best sources for recommendations. I'm going to give you one strength just so you know what we're looking for. A prime strength in this scenario that you read about, okay, and it's right here. Okay, once again, it's right here. Is a teacher named Mrs. Evans. Okay, and she has a lot of understanding and sensitivity to the cultural specifics of the Serbian community. It's a large Serbian community. I think there's 36 or 37 Serbian students at school. At least there are many Serbian students. That might be an opportunity, don't you think? Okay, what do we many times take that as? That's a threat. That's a problem. Okay. Diversity is not a threat. Diversity is not a problem. Diversity is not a problem need fixing. It's an opportunity. Okay. And so Mrs. Evans goes up here. Mrs. Evans's cultural sensitivity. Mrs. Evans' interest in her students' background. Okay, that's a strength. So Mrs. Evans is a strength. It's not that Serge is a weakness or that Serge is a threat somehow. Okay, and you'll see that he's not. He's a very resilient kid. Okay, so that's what you do. And so your summary is 1 to 1.5 pages long. Your SWOT is 1 page. Okay, 1 page, maybe over a little bit. And your recommendations, likewise, also 1 page, no essay. Okay, so your entire case study will be about 4 pages, maximum 4 pages. No reference, no outside research of any kind. No scriptural quotes here. If you want to put one in there, you can at the very end, just as an underscoring how you feel about all this. But and I hope you enjoy this. These 2 assignments, the week 4 case study on Serge Ramanich, and the week 7 case study on one of your which you'll choose from the 3. If you don't enjoy these, we're probably in the wrong business. Okay, at least we're in the wrong class, because this is the heart of our job, is to take children and communities and institutions, our school and then our community and the children that come before us and the families, and be the best possible mediator of any kind of opportunity, any kind of shortfall or shortcoming. Okay, that's our job, is to be excited about doing the best for our kids and for our communities and for our institution and for our colleagues. All right, protecting our colleagues. In week 7, there's a discipline case there. There's a case of Dan for discipline, and and Emily, special education case, and Robert, a cultural sensitivity and bullying case. Okay, in the case of Dan, we got to protect our faculty as well and other students, because Dan's pretty violent kid. It seems, if that's really what the problem is. But okay, enjoy these, and if you're not enjoying them, perhaps reevaluate what you want to do, because this is the heart of the matter anymore. I think of the one of the school systems near us here, Harrisonburg, Virginia, and Rockingham County in Virginia, where there are 68 or 67 different languages and dialects that must be served under the law, must be served in some form or another. And if that isn't a huge burden and a huge threat and a huge problem for the educators, they have to convert that into a huge adventure and an opportunity and just a great opportunity to do wonderful things with children and to make families feel comfortable in the community. Right? There you go. And our dog here, Gracie says hello. She's just been sitting here, really quiet and enjoying it. So we'll see you next time. I hope you're doing well. Any questions? Post them in the Ask Dr. Phenix column there in the forum, and hope you enjoy the week's activities. Good luck with the case study. Have fun with it. Bye bye. See you next time, Lord willing.